New details now about a story we have been following closely, and it centers on the investigation into a religious group in Riverside County. Today, a father with ties to that group was in court. He's accused of murder in connection to his 4-year-old son's death. NBC4's Christian Cázares has been on top of this case, and tonight we hear from the brother of that boy who died. And Christian, what is he telling you tonight?
Well, Camila, that's right. We spoke to Andre Thomas Jr. today, who tells me he was only 9 years old when his little brother Timothy was when he died in Colton. He tells me his father, he is innocent. He says he was manipulated by a religious group that he was part of. And tonight he is looking for justice for his little brother and his father.
We all went through a lot after this happened, and our family still broke.
It's been 15 years since 4-year-old Timothy Thomas died. And tonight, his older brother, Andre, walks us through some of the better memories he cherishes with the boy he called Timo.
We were the same height. I was 9 and he was barely 4. You know, he was always a big kid. You know, I love my little brother. He was super funny.
But those memories quickly ended when Thomas says their parents decided to separate in 2010, and their father, Andre Thomas Sr., sought help from the religious group His Way Spirit-led Assemblies.
You hear the cries of the Lord.
A faith group based in Hemet, seen here on their YouTube page. Thomas was only 9 years old at the time, but says that's when he felt that the trouble began.
They were coerced and kind of deceived into signing custody over to the pastors because our living, they didn't know what we were going to do because my parents were kind of breaking up.
Of cases that.
But on Monday, the San Bernardino County DA, along with other law enforcement, announced murder charges against Timothy's father and Daryl and Shelley Martin, who investigators say operated the religious group. Investigators say the Martins denied the 4-year-old any medical attention.
I remember when Timothy took a bite out of his peanut butter and jelly, he started throwing up, not wanting to leave my brother, and I was kind of being defiant, and they told us to start worshiping. And pretty much when they would tell us to start worshiping, they would make us spin around in circles.
For over a decade, investigators say the case became challenging because of what they say were the faith group's manipulative actions, but recent evidence allowed police to make the arrests.
Shelley and Daryl Martin took an active role in preventing Timo from receiving medical treatment, and his father, Andre Thomas, was complicit. Timo's death could have been prevented had he been allowed to receive medical attention for his appendicitis.
Tonight, Thomas says his father is innocent because he was manipulated when he was at a vulnerable point in his life.
I do and solely believe that Pastor Kat and Music Martin are responsible for my brother's death, and I forgive them for what they did, but I have not forgotten.
Now, the Martins were in court yesterday for their first court appearance, and Thomas was in court this morning. Now, the judge denied all cameras inside the courtroom, but we know that all 3 of them will be back next week. We're live in San Bernardino. Christian Cázares, NBC4 News.